see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning. It's Monday, October 28th, 2024, and this is episode 793 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee's strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter free. I'm Brian, your host, and today I am enjoying a medium light Guatemala from foodforestfarms.com, where you can get 10% off with the discount code LOTS10, LOTS10, and the shipping is always free. If you're thinking about coffee lovers, Christmas gifts, and Christmas is coming up here pretty quick, head on over to foodforestfarms.com and get your coffee orders in for Christmas. Get them out for Christmas and check out that discount code LOTS10 for 10% off. And while you're there, look at the C4 Club. C4 Club would be a fantastic Christmas gift. If I got the C4 Club for a year for a Christmas gift, I would be extremely happy. You can find out more details over there or get a hold of Mr. Norton, Good Morning Seattle, over there in the live chat. If you don't know how to get a hold of him, let me know and I will get you in touch. Today we're going to be talking about failed attempt at the show on Friday, a busy weekend at the rest of the weekend at Delinquents Gully, and a little bit more. We'll see what we get into this morning. First, let's go check in the live chat, see who's hanging out in the coffee crew, and we'll get rolling for the day. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing today? Glad to be here. Friday was a little bit of a shit show. I'll talk about that in just a second, but we got through it. Made it all of 2 minutes, and everything dropped. It was rough. It was frustrating, but we're back home now. Back in the comfort of the trailer, and we'll try again soon. We will try again soon. It's going to be a couple weeks for sure before we're out on the weekend. And by that time, hopefully adjustments have been made. But I will go through today and let you know where all the failure points and what we're going to be working on. Thanks for that zap over on Noster, Jim. I appreciate that. I like that the Noster crew's growing a little bit, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. YouTube, good morning, Seattle, in early. Good morning, crew. Thanks, Brian, for jumping in early. John Palmer, good morning and good day. Rewilder Life, good morning. Day off of work, but you're going to be working twice as hard moving plants, I assume. Moving stuff, just working away there, on getting in that new in the new house. Hey, good morning, Seattle, says 5x5. Yeah, it was interesting on Friday for sure, starting things up, and away it went. Good morning, Archer, over on the vertical feed. Hello to you, and thanks for the sub and the like. I appreciate that. Off-grid ping, good morning to you. Hunter over on Twitch says that was weird. Anyway, good morning. What was weird? Friday morning? Is that what you're talking about, or something else new? All right, guys. Well, one thing I have to do is post the link to the new morning show. It might be sometime this week. Might be the beginning of next week. I'm not sure yet how it's going to transition, but it will be. Let me see. I'm going to start going both to this channel that you're currently watching and the new YouTube channel. I'm probably going to do that for a week or so, a little bit more. During that time, Hunter had double audio until he closed everything. You watching on YouTube again, aren't you? I'll have it on both, and I won't be able to have it on Twitch. Sorry, Hunter. For that intermediate time where we transition over to the new channel. But after a week or so, maybe 2, we'll drop this channel off the feed. We'll have the vertical feed going on the new channel. We'll have this feed going on the new channel. So that might be later this week. That might be next week. I will definitely let you know. And we'll start growing the morning show over there on its own. And it's all YouTube stuff. It's all YouTube algorithm stuff that I'm playing with, that I'm trying to figure out. And it's only been 9 years, so why not try to figure it out now? Good morning, Pip. Cheers to you. Good morning, Take the Ride. Thanks for stopping in. And Jim is everywhere. Jim is everywhere. Jim is on Noster, on YouTube. Look at Pip. Pip is running around. Those Florida guys. All those news stories that start out Florida man. That's Pip and Jim. Pip's already day drinking. It's 7:07. I think that's called morning drinking, and you might want to look up a meeting. Good morning, Canadian Farmstead. But the Florida guys are everywhere. We got them in the YouTube feed. We got them in the Noster feed. Next thing I'll know, they'll be showing up in the vertical feed. And man. Pip says it's my Sunday. I've been up since 2 a.m. Okay, so if you normally get up at 6, I guess 11, you're all right. You're in the safety zone at least for morning drinking. I don't know if you can consider it day drinking. I don't know if you can consider it day drinking at 7:08 in the morning Eastern. And after next weekend, it'll actually be 6:08 in the morning. I mean, I love the enthusiasm. Don't get me wrong. I love going at it hard. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do, especially on your day off. You got to take advantage of all the time. We're always talking about people taking advantage of all the time they have, and not just sitting back. Pip is taking the bull by the horns and getting started early, but I don't know if we can really classify that as day drinking. That's got to be a morning drinking. Good morning, Jeremiah. Thanks for popping in. Canadian Farmstead says Pip needs AAA. He needs AAA because he's going to need a tow after getting started at 7 in the morning. But he says almost Alcoholics Anonymous. Is that almost an alcoholic or almost anonymous? Jeremiah says if you're not drinking at 4 a.m., 4 in the morning, what are you doing? Usually if I was drinking at 4 in the morning, it was continuously from the night before. I hadn't arose in the morning and started. And Jim says, depends on when you start. That is true. I mean, that is true. Are you working on a car or something, Pip? Or are you just sitting lonely in your chair in the dark, sipping on what? Well, here's the biggest question. What is the beverage of choice for 6 a.m.? I guess 7 a.m. When did you start at 2? You said you've been up since 2. Did you start at 2 or did you wait a few hours? Canadian Farmstead says nothing more anonymous than standing up in front of a group of people who can see your face and telling them your name. Yeah, but it's only your first name. Don't worry. And in all my experiences, every time I've been to an AA type of meeting, it's been in a smallish town. So it really wasn't that anonymous. Oh, it started about 5-ish. So you were up for a good 3 hours. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, there's been plenty of times that I've had a Bloody Mary within 3 hours of waking up. I mean, and then continued to partake all the day. Good morning. Seattle says beer and TikToks for breakfast. I'm guessing that's TikToks, not Tick Racks. I don't know what a Tick Rack is. But Reaper over in the vertical feed. I think that's French. I don't speak French. I barely speak English. definitely barely read English, so that's good luck with the French. Well, enough about Pip enjoying his morning. So let's talk about the weekend. Since I saw you last, I guess I did blip up for about 2 minutes on Friday morning. Thursday night, we went out to the property. We went out to Delinquents Gully. Jim says bonjour. Is that goodbye? Gamer 10, please like. Hi, I don't know. I'm in the middle of a stream. I can't go like, but I can say hi. Good. Hello, Gamer 10. Please like. Gamer 10, please like. Thanks for stopping in. Where are you located? Are you hanging out? Are you did you hit the like and the subscribe? Please. So Thursday night we went out to Delinquents Gully. We got set up in Tim's cabin. We were going out for an extra day. I appreciate that like and the subscribe, Gamer. Thanks around. Stick around. Where are you located? We're planning on staying out for a long weekend. Corey decided that she was taking every other Friday off for the rest of the year ish, give or take. I think she confirmed that. Which gets us an extra day. We get to go out on Thursday night instead of Friday after work. And it gets us a full day, wake up there on Friday, get more done type of thing. Going on with this, I realized that I do a show on Friday morning. So we went back and forth whether I wanted to, if we were going to stick around here in the morning, or stick around Thursday night, do the show in the morning, do all the uploads and all of that, and take off and get out there early in the morning. Gamer 10 says, "Please, I'm the only one." I actually got a bunch of people over in a different feed and on a couple different platforms. Gamer, you're the only one in the vertical feed, but I appreciate you anyway. Canadian Farm says, "I used to do a show on Friday morning." I'm sorry when my internet doesn't work, when things go sideways, I can't really do it. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you, Canadian Farmstead. Hunter says, "Yeah, Gamer is not completely insane yet." Pip's wondering how the cuttings are doing. I'll get to that. Let me star that to make sure I remember to talk about that. So Friday morning, I went back and forth whether we stick here. The internet out there was still pretty. This was before this weekend, before I verified it. But the internet out there was it was connected, but it was obstructed with the Starlink. And what that ends up doing is, back when I first started using it, you can remember the cyclical dropouts of the show. So it would just freeze or go black for a few seconds and then come back and blah blah blah. That on steroids, basically, if I was trying to stream. So I had done some work. I cleared some area. I cleared some area. I set up a new power system. John Palmer says, "Don't forget to take." He takes 2 weeks off every now and then. Yep, on purpose. I take 2 weeks off every now and then. I would much. I take those 2 weeks off. I would much not rather. I would rather sit here with no internet and no cell signal than and take 2 weeks off than be here with you guys. So I thought I had it set up. Well, I wasn't sure. going into the weekend, I wasn't sure. I thought I had cleared maybe enough. I thought I had. You guys are fuck. You're the ones. I didn't say anything about it, and then Canadian Farmstead. Oh, poor Brian. He sounds just like Tim. Tim does the same thing. Gamer asks, "Do I race? Do I race what? Oh, because of my chair? No, it's just a chair, man. So we're gonna give it a try. We're gonna give it a shot on. We're gonna give it a shot on Friday morning. Thursday went out, got it all set up. It takes like 4 hours for the Starlink to kind of calibrate and figure out the map of the obstructions. And so we set it up. We got the cabin set up. We started getting settled in for the weekend, and I started looking at the map. And as the map was developing, as the map was developing, I was like, this isn't good. This isn't good. Maybe all the obstructions were around the edges. Some were a little bigger than others. So I was, hey, you don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize, gamer. That's fine. I got plenty of jackholes in the other stream that ask stupid questions too. So I'm watching the map develop, and I posted in the Telegram group. I was like, we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure. It's looking kind of sketchy. So sign on Friday morning. Basically I hit go, and I went to hit the intro video, and everything just froze. Gamer asked how long I stay on. I usually I run from 6 a.m. Central till 7:15 ish, Monday through Friday. So an hour plus every Monday through Friday, do a morning show. So if you want to subscribe to the new channel, I'm actually gonna branch this off and put it on its own channel every morning. So go ahead over there and give it a sub. And I don't talk politics, gamer. So there's that. Anyway, so I go to hit go on Friday morning, and everything just locks up. Not even necessarily not necessarily like spinning for a second. Gamer says you subscribed. I know you subscribed to this channel. I'm starting a new channel with this show. This channel is going to turn into all of my review videos for my Amazon products that I do reviews for. So if you want to see the morning show in the future, you're going to want to subscribe to the new channel. So it just locked up hard. Like the internet was so bad and in and out that it locked up for like 3 minutes. And it just one of the StreamYard feeds that I use, so I use two at the same time, one for the vertical feed, one for the regular feed. One of them just reset, and it was like, your internet is so bad and non what is it, unreliable or something was the word that it used. It just reloaded the whole page. It wasn't black circle. It wasn't little circle in the middle of the screen. The screen didn't go black with the circle. Like the whole thing just said "fuck you" and reset and completely dropped the stream. So Pip says dial up versus rural Starlink. Whew, that is for streaming, probably dial up. Let's hit the comments for a second. Excuse me. Excuse me. Pip says, I don't think I've ever taken 2 weeks off in a row in my working career. It just sounds odd. Until we took our trip to Squatch Fest, I don't think I had taken 2 weeks off, except if I was forced to. Let's say, like, I didn't work there anymore, or I was asked to not come to work for a while, or things like that. But I think actually taking time off and coming back to work would have been probably, yeah, 3 years ago until I did that. 2 weeks is a long time. Canadian Farmstead represents that stupid question comment, and Jamie says, what? We only ask the mostest important questions. Canadian Farmstead, what do you think about this most important election of our lifetime? Are you participating this year, Canadian Farmstead? Are you a Trump or a Kamala guy? Are you coming? Have you mailed in your vote yet? Hunter's asking, does it always take 4 hours to make a mapping connect? It doesn't take 4 hours to connect. It takes like 8 minutes to connect. Um, as the time goes on, the signal gets clearer, and then the map of obstructions, and then it can almost predict when it's going to drop out and how long. 2 seconds, 1 second, under a second. As that connection becomes more stable, it usually says about 4 hours for a complete map. And I think that's like it's hit every satellite that it's going to hit multiple times, and figured out if it was obstructed or what the issue was. That's what the 4 hours was. Dial up versus Starlink. We got off grid. Off grid says so important. Yeah, the election is so important. Good morning, Cormac. Thanks for stopping in. Are you participating in the election, Cormac? Or have you mailed your ballot in from Ireland yet? Canadian Farm says I vote every year as no voter ID is necessary. Um, I don't think we have an election every year, do we? Well, not the most important election of your lifetime. That's only every 4 years, I think. Hunter says Canadians for Kamala. We should do some fucking commercials for Canadians and Irishmen and other countries. Canadians for Kamala. Is it? Have we figured out? Is this is how much news I watch? I haven't heard anybody say her name other than like somebody else in like. I haven't seen any talking heads or anybody say her name. Is it Kamala or Kamala? I think I asked this before, and you guys can't tell me. I mean, do you guys actually know? Um, Canadian Farmstead, Canadians with a K. Yeah. Anyway, Starlink locked up hard on me. I said, fuck it. I shut down the show, and it is what it is. For the audio people that missed the show on Friday, I apologize. I wasn't going to upload 2 minutes of is what it sounded like. So, yeah, there was that. Pip says Venezuelan cartels for Kamala. Jim says chameleons. Good morning, Seattle. Camel Toa. Hunter says it's not Kamala. It's Kamala. Hopgood Pig says, "Who knows how you really pronounce his name?" Are we gonna go? Are we gonna go through another 4 years of thinking that Michelle Obama has a penis? I mean, Kamala Harris has a penis. I I knew she blew her way to the top. I didn't. Canadian Farm says that was a good one for Jim. Jim had a good one in the comments, but I butchered it. You know my reading isn't very good, guys. It says comma chameleon. Comma, like comma, or is it coma? Jim's explaining the joke. She changes like a chameleon. And it was a song from the was it the 80s? That's got to be new wave. God. Oh, God. When's the election? When does it all fall apart? Are the Kamala people saying that if Trump wins, that the military is going to take over or some shit? I saw some video on Noster last night where she was. It was a still shot from a video where she's talking about something about we don't want a military that's loyal to Trump or some shit. I don't know. They are suspecting that she was kind of setting the groundwork for some bullshit. Weird, like some sort of January 6th, the most deadly day at the U.S. Capitol history. Canadian Farmstead says, have you ever seen the accent compilations? No. What is that? Oh, does she come up with different accents all the time? Take their eyes as remember the 5th of November is when the selections happen. Yeah. It is what it is. Hunter says, don't they teach you to mirror when they're teaching you how to speak to people? Yeah, that is a speaking technique. Barack Obama was good for that one. Hillary Clinton she tried. John Palmer says it's her job to certify the election. Yeah, it is her job to certify the election, isn't it? How does that work when she's sitting and running? Is that like sour grapes? Like, I'm not going to do it. Fuck you. I'm the vice president. I'm not going to let him be the president. Does that shit like schoolyard bullshit? Same stuff. Canadian Farm says, you guys, I hate it so much. It's so asinine that you have to talk about it. Pip says Hillary Clinton is tried and found guilty of what? What did Hillary do? Except be one of the most stunning human beings alive. You guys all know that you'd leave your wives for Hillary Clinton. Anyway, thanks, assholes. So after I shut down the show, I did some work. Corey went for a run out the cabin. Had some time. Jeremiah says I need to find one first so I can leave her for Hillary. So I stuck around. I'm getting the groundwork set up. I'm getting ahead on a bunch of things, trying to get everything in a line. So starting this new podcast, recorded podcast, interview podcast, that's going together. That's going well. I'm booked with enough guests to release episodes through the first of the year now. So that was the first step. Now getting them recorded, edited, and scheduled is the next step. That starts tomorrow. I got 9 interviews between Tuesday and Thursday this week, and then a bunch the following couple weeks after that. So going to keep going on that. So I got a bunch of prep work done for that. I also had a boatload of videos that needed to be edited. Had recorded them, product videos that I got edited up and put up. I got them edited and put up on Amazon. They will start to trickle out to this channel today, hopefully. After the show, I got to get one going. Amazon's easy peasy to get uploaded. YouTube, you put a little bit more into it to for the search optimization, the descriptions, things like that. So I'm going to start releasing those once a day during the week. So I got a bunch of that prep work done while Corey was out doing her run. She got back and we shut it down and we got some stuff done for the weekend. For the rest of the weekend, Friday, we pounded out a bunch more of mushroom logs. That's exciting. Got them all done for the year. They unless somebody wants to order them, if you're in West Central Tennessee, anywhere near the Tennessee River, I guess I could probably Jim's wondering what's in the cup today. It's a medium light Guatemalan from foodforestfarms.com. Find them at foodforestfarms.com. Get yourself some medium light Guatemalan. So we got mushroom logs pounded out. We actually did more than we did the first day or the first round. It probably took less time because we weren't videoing it. We were getting in the groove, figuring out how the assembly line worked. Corey helped. I wouldn't have ever been able to get it done without her. She did half or more of the work, which she always does. But we knocked out. We got 10 more cool weather shiitake. I shouldn't say more. We got 10. We got 10 cool weather shiitake, 10 pearl oyster logs, and 5 reishi logs. And then at the end, I had just a bunch. I shouldn't say a bunch. It was a handful of plugs left of all the different varieties. So king oyster, pearl oyster, shiitake, cool weather shiitake, and reishi. I had maybe a dozen to 2 dozen plugs of all of them mixed together in separate bags. They weren't mixed together at that point. And I had been saving the little squigglies that come out. You know, when you drill holes in wood, you get the shavings. That's what they're called, shavings, the little squigglies. The shavings. I had been throwing them in a bucket, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with them. I was thinking about either making fire starters with the leftover cheese wax and the hardwood shavings. We weren't really sure if the cheese wax was like if it was the same as like paraffin, if it would work in a fire starter. You know, we used to make fire starters with or Corey's mom used to make fire starters with wood shavings and pine cones and paraffin wax, and they worked really good, and egg cartons. So I was thinking we could put the hardwood shavings in the egg cartons with the cheese wax. We did experiment with one, and it worked well. But I came up with a better idea for these mushroom plugs, these leftover spore inoculated plugs. I talked to Jamie there, Off Grid Ping, who says he's rocking the Folgers Classic over there, Canadian Farmstead in with the Maxwell House Original. How many flavors of Maxwell House are there, Canadian Farmstead? Are there several? Do you enjoy one glass of Folgers Maxwell House more than another? I was trying to come up with a nice word to say about it. So Jamie there, he does some milling with chainsaw. When you mill logs with chainsaws, Gamer's only 10. Oh Jesus, I don't know if you're allowed to watch this show, Gamer, if you're only 10. How are you on the internet by yourself? The internet is a very scary place. Jamie does milling with his chainsaw, and the end cuts, the first cuts, are kind of scrap. They're throwaway-ish kind of pieces. And he's had a pile of these over by his place for a while. And I used some for the ramp out at the property. We've talked about it. Things like that. Good morning, says Seattle says the good thing to say about Maxwell House is it's warm. Jeremiah says there's children here. Hunter says you can't even have a safe place because then you're grooming. Me? Yeah. Jim says damn kids are everywhere. So I had this idea after looking at Jamie's pile of these end cuts of the hardwood logs that he had milled. I was like, what if I mix the spore plugs in with the hardwood shavings in a bucket, mixed them up, let them kind of marinate in there a little bit, and then I basically was going to make a lasagna. So I laid down the hardwood. Jamie, what are those, like 3/4 inch thick ish planks, basically? I took them off into the woods. I talked to Jamie first to make sure this was all right. I took them over off just into the woods a little bit, and I stacked them between two trees, and I made like a layer of hardwood planks, and then I spread out some inoculated plugs with the hardwood shavings, and then I put another layer of planks, and I put some more plugs, and then a little bit more plank. It was supposed to be a lot more exciting than it turned out to be. I was gonna video it and see what happens. Now I don't know if all the different varieties of mushrooms will just kill each other, if they'll eat each other, or if this log pile, if this plank pile will end up having just a shitload of different types of mushrooms. I don't know what's going to happen. It was stuff that I wasn't going to be using, so I was like, let's give it a try. Now, if that little spot of plank starts popping up all the different types of mushrooms, that would be cool. That would be pretty cool. Jeremiah said the kids are in the walls. Canadian Farmstead says they're on Jim's lawn again. Jim tells him, get the fuck off my lawn. Kids, get the fuck off Jim's lawn. Stay off Jim's lawn. Gamer asked how long I'm going to be on. Are you slow, Gamer? I know you're 10, but are you slow? Are you in the special class? Do you take the short bus to school? Because I already told you how long I'm on. Approximately 28 minutes ago, I told you how long I was on. And I said, if you remember, you can tell me. Pip suggested that the gamer kid go learn about Bitcoin, but he can't even remember how long I'm going to be on for 20 fucking minutes. So I don't know how he's going to understand Bitcoin. Rewilder Life's having some bacon with some local brew. Nice. Canadian Farmstead said, I see green. That's because I changed up the ducks. I got mini purple duck, and I have punk rock mohawk duck. We're at 68,674. We're up 1% in the last 24 hours. Gamer says he wants me to stay on till 12 p.m. Is that past your bedtime? Pip's into it early. We all know Pip was into it. I was curious what he was drinking. He's having leftover enchiladas and rum and Sprites. Canadian Farmstead says he hopes I positioned those exactly the way they were. Jamie says, I was thinking if you put those shrooms down by the spring, it's always a little bit cooler and a little bit darker down there than everywhere else. That would have been a good thing to think about before I did it. We'll get more, Jamie. That process is pretty easy. Next time we do more, maybe we'll put some down by the spring, down by the old duck coop, and see how they do down there. But anyway, Corey and I knocked out all the rest of the mushroom logs for the year, unless somebody orders some, like I said. So that was good. After that, we basically shut her down for the afternoon and walked the dogs, had a nice fire and dinner, which was nice. Wilder says our shrooms are in our old grown forest. It's always wetter and cooler there. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. We'll see how it goes. Had a nice fire on Friday evening. Saturday morning, though, woke up. I got a question for you guys. old growth forest, right? Yeah, we're pretty much old growth everything where we're at. Yeah, yeah, old growth, and then Pip says do shrooms as a hippie versus do shrooms as a homesteader are way different. Yeah, they are. TikTok can't tell the difference though, because when I post shorts about mushrooms, I always do hashtag shrooms, and it takes it gone. Rewilder Life saying we're talking 150-year-old trees. We got some. So the ones that they actually left when they selectively logged the property, bye gamer, have a good day at school. I hope your teacher likes the homework you did over the weekend. Jesus Christ. I hashtag shrooms, and they take that shit down all the time. Jim says over on Noster, rum and Sprite, busting balls on Pip. Rum and Sprite, I knew a girl that drank that in college. She got around. Pip, do you get around? Are you a rum and Sprite whore? Good morning, Seattle. Took an elbow to the nose Friday night in the mosh pit. Were you mosh pitting? Happy mosh pitting! Anybody know where that was from? You got to dig deep into the memory banks to remember an audio clip where an animal was saying "Happy mosh pitting." And Good Morning Seattle said that hippie shrooms were involved in his accident. Pip says it's been on the list. What is going on? Dude, like gamer, I'm really just gonna have to. Whatever, fuck it. You can go over there and type messages to yourself all you want. Jim says we really shouldn't be chasing the kids away. The crowd's getting older. Are you saying that I need to start replacing some of you fuckers because you're gonna be keeling over on me? Jesus. So Saturday morning, I had an interesting thought. Saturday morning, I got up. I woke up. I got out of bed. I took a piss. I walked around. So, I've told you many times that Corey and I use separate bedrooms for multiple reasons. I snore. I multiple reasons is all me, all my problem. I have come to determine. But I snore, and I do karate. John Palmer asks how long I'm on. Jeremiah says he's going to come in. He's on the younger side. He's going to fill the younger side gap. Thanks, Jeremiah. I appreciate it. So I snore. I do karate in my sleep. I roll around. I toss and turn. And my beautiful bride basically doesn't move when she lays down. She like lays down into a set position that has to be exactly right and doesn't move until it's time to wake up. So those two things we battled for years and years, and then we were like, well, this is just fucking stupid. So out at the cabin, there's a bed, a huge bed, like a king size bed, and a little love seat. I don't even know if you could call it a love seat. Like literally from the top of my head to my ass does not fit sideways on this. Like to get my ass against the armrest, I got to have my head up on the other armrest. And so to make life easier for both of us, and so we both get some sleep, I'll usually conk out on the couch. And otherwise, with all the room in the king size bed, I'm like really all over the place. Then the dogs don't know what's going on. They get all kind of weird. And yeah, it's one of those things. So I try to just make life better and conk out on the little love seat. Hunter says, tell Corey we want a picture of me sleeping on the love seat. Do you hear that? They said they want a picture of me sleeping on the love seat. She says you guys got it for sure. John Palmer says it sounds Corey sized. It would be very much Corey sized if she didn't have to have the fucking dogs sleeping with her, because the 140 and the 170 pound dogs will not fit on the couch with Corey. So there is that. So it's all right. The couch isn't horrible. If I get in the right position, it's not bad. But the other night, my hips hurt. Like from laying there kind of crooked, and it probably was a lot of the mushroom logs and all of everything. And so Saturday morning I got up, and it was kind of gloomy. It was supposed to rain a little bit. Corey gets up, she goes out to make her tea, and I was like, man, my hips kind of hurt. I'm going to lay down on the bed and stretch. Canadian Farm says, it sounds like you need to find some long camping beds to review. There is another bed there. All I have to really do is make room for it. And that is probably going to be in the second cabin we built. I'm just going to get some insulation in there and probably throw a mattress in there. Or I could use the multiple air mattresses that I have, but my dogs will pop them immediately. There's all sorts of issues going on. But it's temporary. So I wanted to kind of do some stretching Saturday morning. So I lay back down in bed, and like my hips released. They felt great. I was like laying down and stretching my legs a little bit. And I was like, this is pretty comfy. And I fucking went back to sleep. Till like, what time did we get up on Saturday? Like 6:30? Yeah, it was probably 6:30. Sun was coming up, and it's a little later in the woods. It takes some time to get up in the woods. So I laid down there. Corey was up with the dog. She was making her tea. And I was like stretching, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going back to sleep. So I went back to sleep and literally woke up at like 10 o'clock. I wake up, And I'm like, holy fuck. I like really fucking passed out. And so I got up and I went out, and my wife had gotten up and started a fire from the night before, like rekindled it. She had been going to town on this brush pile. She's cutting up all the twigs, burning them, burning them. I'm like, holy shit. How I'm impressed. I'm impressed. She had gotten the dog walks done. She had done everything that needed to be done in the morning, and I had just gone back to sleep. But the question it made me wonder was, how long do you have to be awake before it's considered taking a nap? Like, if you wake up, how long do you have to be up and around and out of bed when it changes from sleeping in to taking a nap? Canadian Farmstead says, sounds like you should sleep more. Every once in a while, I do that. Every once in a while, I'll conk out for a few hours. Yeah, and it was a short night the night before. We did stay up quite late. I mean, almost to midnight, I think. And we're old. Canadian Farmstead says your cabin will get done before the first snowfall. I'm hoping we don't have any snowfall this year. That would be ideal. That would be ideal for sure. Good morning, Seattle says you got to be up for 2 hours before it's considered a nap. Okay, so I just slept in on Saturday morning for sure because I was up for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I don't know how I didn't wake up. I guess I didn't. It was probably because I didn't make coffee or some shit. Gamer, you've been promising to leave for like 20 minutes. Pip asked a while back how the cuttings are doing in the stream. And what that is about is when we installed the food forest, we took cuttings. Carrie was pruning, and Carrie had to prune anyway, and so we decided to do an experiment with some cuttings. And we had a little stream down in the nursery, and we put the cuttings in pots and laid them in the stream to see what happens. They seem to be doing okay. They seem to be doing okay. I don't know. Well, I think it's more, we'll find out in the spring. I haven't pulled any out to see if they're growing roots. Rewilder Life says the sleep schedule is important and getting sleep is huge. I will choose sleep over work because it's how I ruin my health quick. Yeah, there is that. And when we have a fire out cabin and we normally go to bed at Corey goes to bed at like 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock. And if she's up till 9, that's a late night. And I usually follow an hour or two behind after I dick around and do some work and end up going to sleep. We were up late. We were up all the way almost to midnight. So Hunter says Gavin says he doesn't think the 30-minute breaks the circadian cycle. And Hunter's wondering what that means. That is your sleep cycle. That is the natural brain function of deep sleep, REM sleep, all the different sleep cycles. Yeah, that. Rewiler Life says Corey's her twin. Yeah, I mean, she'll like literally, especially this time of year when it gets darker earlier, she'll be like, oh, I should probably get to bed. And she'll like look at her watch and it'll be like 6:45. And she'll kind of chuckle and say, well, maybe I could stay up a little longer. If she gets past 8, the dog, like if it gets much past 8, Clyde gets all nervous that she's not going to go to bed. He'll start pacing and looking at her. He'll go in and sit on her bed and like look out the door at her like, are you coming? Are you coming to bed? Is it time to go to bed yet? Anyway, got up. Corey had got the fire going. I literally got up and made my coffee, and all of a sudden it just started downpouring. Rained for quite a bit. A couple hours. The first rain we had in like a month or more. I think Corey and I, while it was raining, we were trying to figure it out. It was the 3 inches of rain or 3 to 4 inches of rain we got in 2 days, 3 days before SRF before work days. So we counted back and we were thinking it was like 5 to 6 weeks. Other Life says Ranger goes to bed alone. Yeah, they end up going there, but Clyde wants her in bed with her, cuddling, I guess. Our old German Shepherd used to go and sit at the door and wait to go out. And he would like look at the doorknob and look back at us when it was time for him to go back. He'd just stare at the doorknob and then every once in a while I'd look over his shoulder like, are you guys coming? And this would start like an hour before you needed to go out, an hour before it was bedtime. So anyway, it had been 6 weeks or so since rain. Started raining. It rained for like an hour or two. We sat on the porch and I had my coffee. And after that was done, I did end up getting stuff productive done for the day. I finished up the delivery box I was making for Jamie's house, where thanks Jamie for letting me get all my packages there. The postman had just been kind of willy-nilly setting them wherever. Trying to put them undercover. Sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't, but we're coming into the rainy season here in Tennessee, and I figured why not get them out of the weather. So I made a big old drop box for next to Jamie's house out of scrap lumber. Basically, it didn't look the prettiest. It turned out well. I mean, it'll work. It'll do what it does, what it's intended to do. But it was all out of scrap, 2x4s and plywood. And the only thing we really picked up, I picked up some stencils, and Corey was the artistic person in the endeavor, and she spray painted stencil deliveries on top, so they know what goes in the box. So delivered that up to Jamie's and did the mushroom experiment that I talked about earlier. Got that all laid out and borrowed his weed eater. Borrowed his he's got this, guys. All right. The next day I weed eated our site. Not weed eated with a string trimmer, but with the saw blade style. We had some pretty thick blackberries and poplar and stuff like that at the site where we're going to be building our cabin. Knocked it down with a machete earlier in the year, but through the summer it had grown back. And trying to weed eat it down to the ground with a string trimmer wasn't working because I had all the big root stems and all this shit. Like, it was just a pain in the ass. I tried the blade on the little Craftsman or whatever. We have a couple of weed eaters at Delinquents Gully, and the blades just don't work. And somebody had told me that, so at work day, somebody had an Echo that had a blade on it. Worked really well. Somebody else told me, basically the steel, the Echo, like the higher end ones are the only ones powerful enough to run the blades efficiently. And so I knew Jamie had bought a steel weed eater. And I asked him, I was like, well, how's the blade work on that thing? And he's like, it works really well. So I asked to borrow it. Guys, quit buying cheap weed eaters. Unless all you need to do, if you got a suburban lot and you got like perfect manicured lawn, why, I'm not sure. But if you're just doing little grass along the edges of your lawn, string trimmer, just pick up a cheap one. If you want to do any sort of maintenance on anything more than a lawn, pick up a fucking steel. This thing is amazing. Not only is it comfortable to use with the bicycle style handles, the engine sounds different. Like, it doesn't sound like a normal weed eater. I shouldn't say that. It's not as loud. It's not as high pitched a squeal like a normal weed eater. I ran it and I was just like, that's not actually that horrible to listen to. But the blade attachment, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It looks like a circular saw blade. It solid. Goes through pretty much anything you want. Jamie said it wasn't really effective on grass. He said it laid the grass down more than anything. I found it different, and it might have been the grass that I was doing. It was like big clumps of like native grass, and that blade hit it, and it just like took it right off. The blackberry stems that were an inch, 2 inches diameter, the old blackberry, the center stems, absolutely just knocked it out. Jim says wear ear protection anyway. It's all about DBs. My ear protection is my hearing loss. Yeah, I know all about fucking ear protection. I didn't have any with me, and the decibels were way lower than a normal weed eater. I'm sure it was above the decibel range for wearing earplugs, but I didn't wear them. It was much more comfortable than a regular weed eater, so I did less damage. How about that? Thanks, Grandpa Jim. I will wear ear protection next time. But anyway, this thing was slick. It was exactly what I needed. I got everything kind of knocked down, and then I got to get the lawnmower that I got from my friends up and going and running, and I'm gonna go out there and scalp it down even more. But got our site all knocked down. I still got a couple trees to bring down, and then away we go with that project. Since we're all caught up with Delinquents Gully stuff, we had our work day. Jim says, "Oh well, okay, as long as it's less." Jim, what is so? Here's how your hearing protection works. You know, they say under 98 decibels, or over 98 decibels, we need hear protection. So 97's okay, and 99 is not okay. I'm not disagreeing with you that I should have had ear protection on for it, but should we have ear protection on? Good morning, Seattle says ask Eargasm to do a review. Those are great. The decibels I had were pretty nice. It is what it is. It is what it is. I like the earbud kind, but they end up irritating my ear canals. Then the earmuffs just end up being hot and sweaty. I've gone through a lifetime of industrial maintenance and being in places that have machinery that I've worn earplugs and ear protection for the last 20 years. I should have been wearing it when I started in bartending. I didn't realize how loud the bands at the place I bartended, and one of my ears just fucking got demolished because I was working at the same bar position over and over, and the speakers were to my right. So, Hunter says Brian should also wear his assless chaps when running the chainsaw, but yeah, here we are. I have assless chaps that I run the chainsaw with. Just because you don't have a video of it, wait, Hunter? I'm starting to wonder about you. You want a picture of me sleeping on the love seat? You want a picture of me in assless chaps? Hmm. Jim says it's also about the length of time to repetitive stress. Yeah. John Palmer says I don't understand decibels. What is there to understand, John? The higher the decibel number, the louder the noise. John Palmer, probably using voice to text, says if chaps aren't assessment, they are pants. Oh, If I hadn't have met Courtney, I would have thought Hunter was trying to get with me or something. And maybe he still is. Maybe he still is. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, got the spot cleared. And Corey got that big ass pile of brush I made. So when you drop trees, you know, you get slashed. I dropped a bunch of these. The trees I've been dropping at by Tim's cabin, super, super tall, no branches for the first like 15, 20 feet. And then everything up on the top is smaller. Like most of it you can do with like a branch lopper. And so it's just a big pile of brush, and I just pile it up, and we take care of it when we can. And Corey went to town on that on Saturday morning, and really knocked it out. So I can't thank her enough for that. And she really scoped out the area and came up with a decent plan for the yard and some of the things we could do out there. So that was really nice. John says he's not sure how decibels are measured. And he says it was autocorrect, not voice to text, and he meant assless. I was pretty sure you meant assless. Assessment, assless. Canadian Farm says brush makes good char. Yeah, I have that on my notes here with Corey. It literally my notes say Corey brush burning. I need my biochar prototype. As both a note to mention it and a note to myself. I don't have anything going on or anything, but I have the biochar trailer. I have to get pricing. I have to get pricing on a prototype. Whether it be the full sized with the 55-gallon burn chambers or a prototype size all the way down to like 5-gallon burn chambers. I have to think that it is all proportionate. He's asking about a 55-gallon barrel. Yeah, it's basically my idea for the trailer is basically a 55-gallon retort on steroids. That's movable to go in and do a clearing. Like if somebody was clear cutting for a house, if they were clear cutting for whatever purpose, if they were cleaning up a property, that they could roll this trailer and make biochar out of all the slash and stuff like that. So trademarked, yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, it is what it is. If somebody wants to go and do it, go ahead. Eventually, I want to build one for myself, regardless of whether it be a project or not. I just need to find out the cost, and if I can put together a full size one. If anybody wants to donate to the project, I can set up a Kickstarter. But basically, need to get the prototype built up. And I was actually telling Corey while we were sitting there burning some of the slash, I was like, you know, I really should be making biochar out of this with the biochar trailer prototype. But here we are burning it in the fire pit and enjoying it. So soon enough. I do know a welder that could probably give me a pretty good price just for materials. He was at our work day, teenage kid, just getting into welding, and I don't think my project is so much. As long as we can spec the right materials, I don't think it needs to be super welded. I think it can be. It's not like we're welding a boiler. Kind of, not really. If we can get materials that are heavy duty enough, it shouldn't matter if the welds are airtight. So we'll see what happens. The idea isn't going anywhere. John Palmer says his name Miller Lincoln. No, it's not. It's not. If I had power out there, I would probably take a run at it myself in all my free time. Rewild Life says old school pit biochar. You guys, there's a lot of ideas. If you're anybody that wants to can come on out and dig a pit and start some biochar, or they can grab a 55-gallon drum and get it set up. Just saying. Mike Somestead says, I make biochar all the time, burning in a barrel all the time. Yeah, you can, for sure. Mike Somestead said Little Cox. Little Cox is the welder. Little Cox is the welder. Yeah, I mean, I completely understand. I understand the process, and I understand it. I understand how to do it, and there are multiple ways of making it. For as little bit as we're burning right now, it just hasn't been a priority. Jim says we didn't burn slash, we piled it up for the cover for the rabbits to hunt later, and that's the majority of what we're doing, and that's why I'm saying that it hasn't been a priority to get the biochar systems up and running. Is we've been using the slash to make trail borders and habitat. So basically, when we're clearing for trails, everything we go 4 to 6 to 8 feet wide, and everything gets piled along the edges. Bigger, probably 6+ inch around logs get laid down as almost like an edge border along the ground, and then all the slash and everything else we cut down gets piled as borders. So eventually that's just going to keep getting piled on. It's going to break down, and it's going to choke out all the growth along the sides of the trails to keep the trails easier to maintain. Real Hour Life says, when I say you don't need to spend any money. Yeah, I know I don't need to spend any money. I have a project that I want to do long term that will make money, not spend money. It's been on the project board for since I walked onto Tim's property. And the biochar that I would have produced out of what we made wouldn't have been worth the time to make it happen. And we use the wood for something else at the moment. So it is what it is. I understand I can make it. When we're burning shitloads, I will probably try to use it, but I know I don't need to spend money to make biochar. I completely get that. But it should be done by now. I've talked to 2 different welders, and it just kind of fades away. They're all busy. Independent fabricators right now are busy, so it is what it is. This isn't an instance of I don't think I can make biochar without the trailer. It's the fact that I want the trailer so I can sell the trailer or the plans to make the trailer, and the biochar will come when it comes. Our soil there right now is so. I should have Carrie on to talk about the soil at this property. It was funny when we planted the nursery. Corey and I got talking to Carrie about like maintenance. The maintenance for the biochar, or the biochar, the trees we put in. How much we had to water them, blah blah blah, and all this, and then and he's like, he says, the soil here is so much better than anything I've ever planted in. Basically, it's untouched. It's forest. It's forest floor. It is hundreds of years of nature dropping leaves, composting them, dropping branches, composting them, and building up. And the places that we're choosing to plant are all drain fields. Not drain fields as in like it floods, but like where everything washes out and builds up. This is where we're planting. It's absolutely phenomenal soil. If you didn't have the roots, and that's one of the issues, but if you didn't have the roots from all the trees, you could take a shovel and just write down a shovel depth easy. Take the Ride says I made one similar to Cody Lab on YouTube, just a steel barrel and an old metal trash can. Yeah, I've basically the premise of the trailer is a combination of the pyrolysis factory or the pyrolysis refinery I worked in, and did all the R&D with, and that combined with the 55-gallon, 15-gallon drum, 55-gallon, 30-gallon drum, basically retort. Rewilder Life says, okay, I know many who don't do something because they think they need all the things. Yeah, no, it's not that. It's not that. It's on the list. And Canadian Farm says, all I'm hearing is I can't make biochar without the trailer. That's what it is. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'd have to go get another 55-gallon drum or dig a pit. We basically don't, like, literally, Corey, the first fire we had at Delinquents Gully, I think Tim might have had some while he was out there, maybe one with somebody that stopped by. The first fire we had out there was at work days. The next one we had was Corey and I the other night. We haven't been doing very much burning at all. Basically piling slash along the trail borders. So, and if you guys didn't know, that's a great way to make free mulch. Taking your slash instead of burning it, if you pile it up and take a chainsaw and run it through it a few different times from a bunch of different angles and then let it sit, it's not immediate, but within a couple of years, and if you start doing this and rotating piles and consistently doing this every spring and fall when you process firewood or whatnot, you will eventually have piles that are complete in all these times, 2 years, 3 years later. It makes great natural mulch. So the natural fungus in the ground, the living systems in the forest floor will start to consume that and really jumpstart it. And then as it breaks down, you can knock it apart. You know, if you ever go in the woods and you find rotten wood that's kind of brittle, yeah, you knock it all down, you put it in a wheelbarrow, take it over to your garden and use it for mulch cover. Rewilder Life says we've been drought, yeah. Yeah, this winter we'll burn some more, I'm sure. Not only to stay a little warmer, that's another thing. It's been so hot, and then the drought, we didn't really want to burn the whole thing down. So anyway, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna get out of here. We're at 20 after. I got a bunch of work today to do, some show prep for the week, a bunch of interview prep for the rest of the week, and videos and all sorts of fun stuff. It's a computer day for sure. It's nice to be back after the sideways show on Friday. Glad we made it all through. Gamer, this fucking kid over on the vertical feed just sitting here incessantly saying, say hi to me, say hi to me, say hi to me. Fuck, dude, really? Fuck. What is wrong with people? Anyway, guys, it's Monday. Start the week out right. Knock it out of the park. I hope you have an awesome week, productive. Make it through the Monday. Hope you don't have a case of the Mondays. Hope you don't have a case of the Mondays and you make it through. Pip, enjoy your day drinking. I hope you make it to noon with those rum and Sprites and and be careful you don't go out and procreate. It's expensive. It's definitely expensive. Have a great day, guys, and we'll catch up with you in the morning.
I can see the light.